Hiya guys, welcome back to another MCI Studio tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at vocals. We've had quite a few requests to look at how to mix vocals inside Sonar. We're using Sonar X2. Been a very exciting month back in September with the launch of X2. So we're going to do kind of short tutorials in the very near future of some of the features that X2 has to offer. But for now we're going to be concentrating on some vocals. Now, there's a kind of a trick that I like to do when it comes to mixing vocals, and I tend to use it pretty much on all the vocals that I do mix. It varies, but I have one particular trick that I really do like to use, and I'm going to show that with you today. But first, let's have a listen to the vocals. This is a song, a very short part of a song that I'm currently writing. So take a listen to these vocals and how they sit in the mix, and then what I'll do is I'll go through you and tell you how I got that result. So let's have a listen. In the dark, in the dark, in the dark. Take this light of yours and shine on. Like the sun, you are a star and shine. Wash away the tears. I will wash away your fear. You were born to rise. You were born to shine through the dark. Okay, so that's just a short snippet of it. Okay, so the first thing you need to do really is, let's come over here to the main vocals. And let's just solo them. Let's have a listen to them. Take this light of yours and shine on. Okay, so there's quite a few things going on there. But the one thing that's really going on under the bonnet is this nice little trick that I like to use. And it's the Boost 11. Now, the Boost 11 is something that should be used, well, at least in my opinion, should be used kind of very subtly. I mean, you can overuse it and create kind of nice effects, but if you use it very subtly, you can create some really nice warm vocals. And I'm going to show you a good trick that you can do. Now, if I get rid of that, in fact, let's turn off the Pro channel altogether, and we'll get rid of the reverb as well. We're going to leave the gate, in fact, no, we'll turn the gate off as well. Let's just see what it sounded like, completely plain. So everything's off now. Let's have a listen, another listen. Take this light of yours and shine on. A fairly ordinary vocal, nothing special about it at all whatsoever. Okay, so the first thing that I tend to do is I will gain correct it if it needs it, and that is using the gain knob to decrease the volume, not the slider, or the fader, should I say. So you tend to come over here to the console view, and I would decrease the gain knob up here if it needed it. As it happens, it doesn't, because later on in the song, I'm actually having to decrease it with the fader. But it didn't need any gain correction to begin with anyway, so didn't need to do that. And the next thing I would do would be to add. Now this is good if the vocal's kind of quiet. If you've recorded it and it hasn't got much volume to it, what you can do is you come over here to, say, the Tinnitus EQ. It can be any EQ, but the Tinnitus EQ is a good one. And all you're doing here is you're going to up the gain of the output. So quite a bit, for about 7 dB. And then you're going to introduce the Boost 11. Now, the kind of mechanics behind this is, because you've upped the output with the equalizer, when you introduce the Boost 11, what we're going to do is we're going to drop the output to about there. And what it's going to do is it's going to take the boosted output that we did with the equalizer and then squish it all back down again. So what we've got are the lower levels that were quiet have now been boosted up, and the louder levels that were increased because of the equalizer are going to get squashed because of the boost 11. So now all the levels are all the same level, and it's going to give this nice kind of consistent level. And what you get is this kind of sound. Let's have a listen to this. Take this light of yours and shine on. As opposed to, let's turn them off. Take this light of yours and shine on. Now you notice with the original there's a lot of dynamic there. There's quiet bits and loud bits. Now an old school engineer would tell you that dynamics are great, and I completely agree. The one drawback to this effect is that it does tend to deny all kind of space for dynamics. So you do kind of you kind of eliminate all the quiet bits in a vocal. But in certain situations, such as dance or dubstep or anything like that, anything electronic, and you've got vocals in them, they do tend to be all one level because they have to keep up with the music in the background. And this is a very good way to do it. So you're boosting the output and then squishing it down again with the boost 11. Now, to actually decrease how much dynamic is being affected, I am going to just drop down the boost, because if you overdo the boost, it does tend to add artifacts into the vocal and it can sound false and just sound a bit horrible. This is what it sounds like with the boost just down slightly. Take this light of yours and shine on. And you can see from the graph how much, so that red is how much is actually being decreased, how much is being squashed back down again. It's been quite a lot. So when we start to come adding, if we add the delay in, now the delay is nothing special. It's the Sonitus effects delay. The tempo set to the project tempo because it's a fairly slow tempo, and it's really kind of subtle. There's nothing much going on there at all, really. So if we add the delay back on, this is what we get. Take this light of yours and shine on. Okay, just adding some character. We've got a gate as well to kind of cut off any hum or hiss that might be happening before or after the vocal. Take this light of yours and shine on. Just cleans up the audio nicely. And what we're going to do now is add some reverb. That was the last thing that I did. So again with the Sonitus. And really only going to go mess with the reverb settings here. We've got loads of presets to choose from, but the one that comes up automatically is kind of nice. Let's just play the vocal and have a mess with the reverb. Take this light of yours and shine on. And then with the music, it'll sound something like this. Take this light of yours and shine on. Like the sun, you are a star and shine. So there you go. Very, 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 very easy techniques. There was a bit of EQing that I did. Literally just upped the high band to about sort of 8K and boosted that by about 10 dB. Nothing that fancy. A bit of a low pass and a high pass filter going on, and a slight increase in the low band at around 130 odd hertz with a sort of a 5 dB boost. And that's pretty much it. And that's all I've done. And I added a compressor. It's kind of a subtle compressor. Threshold's only at -20. It's nothing that fancy going on. And that's pretty much it. That's how I tend to start off my vocals. Nothing too fancy at all. But as you can see, it actually makes a hell of a difference. Let's just turn them all off again, so you can hear before and after. Take this light of yours and shine on. Okay, and afterwards with the effects and the Pro channel. Take this light of yours and shine on. And there you go. That's kind of a very fast approach to mixing vocals and getting them sounding okay. The good thing is trying to get it right from the source, which means getting your vocalist to stand at the correct distance away from the microphone, mic technique, use a pop shield, make sure that the levels are set correctly when you are recording so you're getting a good signal, and then kind of mess around with the settings that I've shown here and see if you can get a good sound. I hope you do. That's pretty much it for this tutorial, very short one. More to come very, very soon. I hope you're all loving X2 if you've got it, and we're going to sort of do some more tutorials later on very, very soon on some of the features that X2 has to offer. But until then, take care, and I'll see you next time.